Hello and welcome to the DrumRoom sessions. My name's Will. Today we're talking to Dave and Dan from Fuser. How are you guys going?
Yo.
Good, thanks.
You're not a band that really tours or plays in New Zealand all that much. Most of your, I guess, your fame or your popularity is through radio stations overseas. So I thought it might be a good idea for you to discuss that on the show, and maybe other bands might take some of your ideas on board and try to promote themselves in that way.
I'll let Dave lead off on this one because he's always got a bit to say on it.
We do like to gig, but we kind of want to make the most of the gigs. So, I think we've all done the slog playing the pubs in front of 10, 15 people. But, we try to do fewer but better quality, so to speak.
Okay, so have you done any large supports over the past few years?
Yes, Everclear most recently. We've done them a couple times. And then
Three, I think.
Yeah, 3 times. And then Presidents of the United States.
Did you tour with those guys or just?
Yeah, well, the Auckland tours.
Okay.
Yeah, so 2 or 3 shows each shot, and so our label brought them over. So it's like, hey, we're on your label. Shouldn't we get the backing gig? So
So what's the name of your label?
So Do It Records.
And they're based in?
So they're based in LA and Auckland.
Okay, in Auckland as well. It's an unusual juxtaposition, is it not?
He's probably got a post office box in LA, and then when he's in trouble in Auckland, he'll scoot to LA. So when you're looking,
safe house over there.
Yeah, safe house.
Okay, so maybe you could touch on how bands could promote their music via radio stations using pluggers. We were talking about it just before we started, before we pressed record. You're talking about using pluggers and paying pluggers to help promote your music via radio stations?
Yep.
So what's that all about?
Well, music doesn't get played by itself, and it's harder and harder these days to approach radio stations on your own and say, play music. So we found ourselves a good plugger out of Orlando, Florida, called Music and Film,
right,
with a K, and we signed a deal with them, and now for I think 3 and a bit years.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
So they just promote music.
They have 250,000 radio stations that they on their umbrella,
mm-hmm,
and then you work together with them with the type of music that you have, and you pick a release and you say go for it, and then if it gets some traction, you take advantage of it.
So have any of your tracks gained traction using this system?
Yeah. We're on, I think it's around about the 9th track that we've got with them at the moment.
Yeah.
And we sort of notice that as it goes, more and more songs come out, that we get more and more traction and more sort of play from that.
Yeah.
So we've done really well with some of the songs.
It's a long game. Some people go involved with pluggers and they say, okay, we've got a single, make us famous. It doesn't work like that. Just because you have a plugger doesn't mean the song's going to get played. It's still got to be a good song, and it's still got to be picked up. So I guess the more and more songs that this plugger releases to the same radio stations, the more they get to know you. And of course, if they like you, they'll...
One of your singles was up for a Grammy?
Yes, 600 Cops. We didn't get nominated for the big show, but we made it through past 18,000 plus eligible songs through 3 rounds of voting down to the last 300, 400 songs.
Okay.
And then from there. So it was us or the Foo Fighters. So I think it went the right way.
No, the wrong Dave, eh?
Oh, yeah. The right Dave.
Okay, so I guess that must have felt pretty good that you got at least your song got that far. I mean, for a band that's sort of based in Auckland. I mean,
leverage.
Yeah, so much so, yeah.
Leverage for what, the next one that
yes.
was... Right.
Absolutely. So when the next song came out, it's those guys. And of course we fed on that. And that works for Europe and USA as well.
Okay, so
and it's also nice to get that sort of validation from
Yeah.
your peers and that it's a good song.
Sure.
And that you're writing good music.
And the pressure of having to put up another decent song after it.
Okay, so have you done any overseas gigs or overseas tours or such, or have you tried to do any of those?
We were looking at heading over to Europe then there was some issues in France where they had the shootings at the Bataclan, and so it wound up harder to get good gigs, and we just thought it was a bit of a risk to go over and take gigs where you ran the risk of playing to empty pubs, that sort of thing. So
it was kind of deemed as a bit dangerous, and also insurance. Was
insurance
a big
was a nightmare.
problem. We're a band. We're going to Europe.
What could happen?
What could happen?
You're going to be in public places.
Yeah.
Every single night.
Yeah. I guess it's all about the type of gigs. Our intention was to try to get onto like a festival or a tour. Like Devilskin, right?
Right.
They're great. They're just absolutely hammering it. We aspire to be a touring band like them. They go over to Europe and they play a festival.
Yeah, even like New Zealand bands that support them.
Yeah.
They seem to do afterwards. They seem to do a lot better
Yeah.
than they were doing previously. It gives them that exposure.
Yeah, they had a great following, and it's worth it. If you gave us a festival in Europe, we'd be there.
Sure.
Simple as that. We got the commitment, and but it has to be worth it, right?
Sure. Well, I mean that are plugging. Was it music and
film?
Music and film. They plug your stuff in Europe and the States.
Yep.
Is that right? You haven't really done much in Australia, which I found a bit strange. It being geographically so close and easy to travel over and do small tours there.
Yeah, we're starting to look at reaching out to that market now. We're working on putting together a stage show to go over and support some singles over there.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
The live show, we're really working on it. So even though we haven't been playing, we've been definitely practicing and getting it ready. So we're 2 singles now in Australia. So you got to have somebody to play to.
Right.
When we chose the plugger, it's where do you want your music to be plugged? Well, the 2 biggest markets was our answer.
Right.
And we love the studio. We love the writing process and recording. We've got a regular spot in a studio in Onehunga for the last 5 years. Every week we're in there doing something.
Okay.
So we love recording and releasing
Is that like
music.
a privately owned one?
Yeah, privately owned.
Obviously it's privately owned, but is it yours or is it
Show Pony.
Show Pony?
So Amos Clark, he's quite a well-known.
I've heard of that.
Yeah. And we basically have a standing day of the week that we go in there, and he helps us with the co-production and the engineering, but it's all self-produced, self-funded. And
So you've done quite a few albums, haven't you? How many albums have you done?
well, we're just about to release our 3rd.
Yeah.
Third.
Yeah.
So 2 released already. The 3rd one's coming soon.
First one was in 2006.
Yeah, and we did a bit of stuff in New Zealand at that point. The Rock was the Rock radio station. You might be familiar with it.
Other people have mentioned it. I've heard of it.
Very supportive.
They're in the Taranaki, right?
Yeah, very supportive of our music in the early days. Really appreciated that.
Okay. So
But we don't see any point of just jumping in a van going up and down the country with for no reason.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, music aside, what do you guys do when you're not recording in Onehunga and plugging your music around the world? What are your other hobbies or other activities?
I'm into rock climbing.
Rock climbing.
Yeah.
I was wondering when a rock climber was going to come on the show.
Yeah.
Is-
I thought it'd be one day.
He's like a little cockroach going up the walls.
Yeah, we played a gig in, I think it was
Rotorua,
Rotorua, and the next morning we went over to the wall, which they got 20-metre high indoor rock climbing walls there. That was good fun.
It was the kiddie wall.
Was that?
Yeah.
So I guess starting out there must be quite difficult.
Yeah, especially because I'm scared of heights. So it's really outside my comfort zone.
How long have you been doing that now?
About 7 or 8 years.
Okay, and you find it easy now?
No, you never find it easy because you're always pushing yourself to like the most that you can do.
Right.
So it's just
Things that people find enjoyable, eh?
Oh, it's fun, but it's obviously a stress release.
I guess so.
Yeah.
Yeah, not me. I wouldn't do that. I've got too much weight.
That just means that it's better for you. More resistance.
Certainly
You'll get more out of it.
Have arms like that. So what do you do? I see you brought something along today. Or actually, to be honest, I asked you to bring it along. But yeah, tell me about this. Tell me about this, Dave.
I have a few friends that have building their own wood stave drums out of like Samplonius drums.
Right.
Really, really good quality drums, and I thought to myself, that's really cool. I've I've sort of refurbished a few drums, but I've never really made anything on my own. So I partnered up with a boat builder guy, and I'm making carbon fiber snare drums.
It's amazing. It weighs virtually nothing.
Yeah,
I mean, it's very light.
yeah,
All the weight's in the hardware.
yeah. I didn't even have a clue what it would sound like until I made one, and then it was like, oh, okay.
And what would you describe its characteristics as being?
In between metal and wood.
Okay.
So it's got the resonance of metal, but it's got the fatness of wood, and it's very durable. You can crank the heck out of it, and
So how many of them have you made so
that's well, I've made some prototypes, and it's expensive. I had to convince my wife that it might make some money, honey.
far? It's worth it.
It's worth it, trust me. So I made some prototypes. I've sold 4
How long have you been sort of
A year.
making these? A year.
a year.
Well, you seem to be doing all right then. And how much do they go for, if I might be so bold?
How much are they worth, or how much they sell for?
All right, how much are they worth? Let's start there.
Each one cost me about $450 to make.
Okay.
So anything above that, I'm happy with.
Okay.
So that one there, I'd like to get $700 for it. But if I do, I do. If I don't, I don't. So I don't do it to make money. I do it as a hobby.
Yeah, but don't tell your wife that.
Don't
You
tell
do
my
it to
wife
make money.
Well, as long as I get enough to make make another one.
I'm joking, honey.
Yeah.
And you mentioned that you brought some drumsticks. There's some drumsticks over here, because some of you might know, but like Dave's all endorsed. He's an endorsed guy. You have the Pice endorsement still. And
10 years this year.
Goodness me. And he's got his own drumsticks that are made by Tama, which is very cool. So would you like to tell us a little bit about the drumsticks? Well, what are they? The 5As, are they?
Yeah, 5A, a little bit longer. I like playing on the rim shot. And
I remember when you first got it, because you were on Facebook and you were sort of giving them away for people to try.
yeah,
You offered them to me, but I think the girth they were a little bit thin for me. I think there was some that tried
Music
them.
Works.
It was Music Works, of course, because they're Tama. And yeah, they was a little bit thin for me, so I thought, oh no, but
well,
but
we
actually
can
pretty good.
give them away to your
Yeah.
listeners or
Viewers.
viewers.
Your viewers actually. Yeah. So
I got 2 pairs to give away.
There's two pairs of sticks there. So if you put a comment below this video, just write your name, or just say give me sticks or something underneath this video,
And you download the last 9 Fuser singles.
and send $1,000 to Dave's wife to try to cover all these snares that he's making. But yeah, first 2 people to comment will get some sticks, and I'll get those sent out.
I
to you.
can give them a little DNA signature too if you want.
Right, nice. Well, yeah.
There we go.
No one's going to comment now. Cool. So, do you have anything else to add?
Well, we really appreciate being a part of the show. I think it's a real cool opportunity for us, and to get around to some of the viewers in New Zealand. So, thank you very much to you and the GUNROOM sessions, and
Cool.
we love being here.
That's
Yeah.
great. Wow.
It's been awesome.
That's the first time I've been thanked by the band before I thanked the band.
Okay.
So thank
Canadian.
Yeah.
Ah, right.
We're very polite.
Canadian.
We're very polite.
I saw a video on YouTube the other day. There were some bears in someone's backyard. And they're like, okay, you have to go now. Come on."
Ochagoe. Come on.
Yep.
All right. Well, thanks very much. And if anybody has any questions about finding ways to plug your music on overseas radio stations and such, I'm sure they could probably contact you on
Yeah.
Facebook as well. I'm sure
Absolutely.
you're happy to answer their questions.
Yeah, and if you got any bears in your backyard, we can sort you out as well. But thank you very much.
Thank you. Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Catch you later.